So the meeting, I guess you could say, is kind of a response to seeking. Because in essence, there's nothing to tell you. There's nothing, because there isn't anything to try to change. It's really, this isn't about trying to find something. So it's really a response to the energy of seeking. And seeking is the energy that something needs to happen. It's a little more broad than that. It's actually the experience that everything that's happening has some sort of intention, that it's becoming something, that it's not needlessly as it is, but it's as it is with a need to become something. And that's normally experienced as my life. And my life is the experience of me seeking a better, in essence, a better experience, or more. This isn't enough. Something else has to happen for this to feel better. And with that seeking energy, the only thing it can really do is find satisfaction. So it'll get drunk, or it'll watch Netflix, or it'll have chocolate, or whatever sex, and it feels better for a little while. But it really is, it's a limited sort of a satisfaction. And what's really longed for is fulfillment. And it's not getting something. It's the end of that need for something to happen. It's the end of the experience that this as a whole has some sort of intention to become something. Now, what we're going to talk about, or what's being shared or suggested, is that seeking energy. Firstly, it's hopeless. It can only live in satisfaction. It cannot find fulfillment. It is, in a sense, a denial of fulfillment through the experience of being separate. And satisfaction is the sort of satiation of that experience of separation for a little bit of time. But what's longed for is the end of the experience of being separate. Now, the problem for the seeking energy is there isn't separation. So it's looking for the end of something that's already not happening. It experiences everything with intention. There isn't any. That includes the experience of intention. There is no need for there not to be the experience of intention. There's no need for there not to be the experience of separation or seeking or satisfaction or any of those things. This, exactly as it is fulfilled. Whatever's happening, that's it. That's fulfillment. And it's fulfillment in the sense that it is that which can't be known, objectified, understood, is already being everything. So it's not that there's an entity of God or something outside of life or something that becomes this. This is that. Full stop. This is that which is longed for. So in that sense, it includes all of that which is happening. So in essence, the experience of separation, because everything is that, is illusory. It doesn't actually happen. It's just this appearing as the experience of separation. It's that appearing as or being the experience of separation. There isn't any really. So the meeting doesn't have any intention. It has nothing on offer, meaning there's no knowledge or any objectified understanding or anything to give you to make that experience of separation to go away. There's nothing that will help that separate experience. There's nothing to give it. Because it's already not separate. It's an illusion. And that separate experience does not find wholeness. It doesn't realize nothing. It may seem to end, get smaller, lighter, thinner, whatever, unravel. But what's recognized, if it ever does end, is that it actually never happened. There is nothing other than what is. And what is already that. And that reality, it's not a reality, is hidden to the separate experience which is looking for something. Because in essence, there isn't a thing to find. Everything is this, which is no thing being this.
Excuse me. The seeking itself, it's kind of like a vicious circle. There is no one seeking, right? But seeking happens.
Yeah.
And it seems like I'm choosing to seek. There's this energy that's always pushing. So seeking happens. It doesn't matter what I do, right? I mean,
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it matters, but the I am and seeking are actually the same energy. So it's not that you choose to seek or I could choose not to seek. It's the same thing. As soon as there is the experience of being someone, there's the experience of seeking or needing to find something missing.
yeah. But there is always like this, I don't know, not an idea, but this energy of I that's always in here. I am seeking, I'm doing this, I decide to read this book, watch the video, whatever it is.
Yeah. That's the dreams. Okay. That's the story that I do.
So the seeking is just happens. It doesn't matter. It just happens.
Well, like everything else, it seems to happen. It's that happening, nothing happening.
I'll say something. So it's known that the seeking energy isn't even happening. That not like glimpses, that nothing is happening. And it still seems to arise, and it's so funny because it's recognized as so futile. Like to seek and to search is just not important. And yet it's still coming, but it's seen by me that, it makes no sense. So it's such like a paradox, knowing that it doesn't matter, nothing is happening, like deeply knowing it through the glimpses, but still, that's in the story too. So it's just a mind weaving of, why is this still happening, but it's not happening. It's this back and forth, it's like a dance. Yeah,
understanding is just limited.
Right.
It's limited to an objectified reality. Because with this, this doesn't come from understanding.
Yeah.
And it's not even logical in the end. Or not rationally logical.
Yeah. It's not even that I'm like really holding on to the need to understand. Just strange, because I know there's no knowing of anything. Like literally.
Well, so you keep saying you know these things.
Okay.
This doesn't know that. This doesn't know any of that. It just doesn't. It's not knowable. This doesn't know that this is that which can't be said.
There's literally nothing to put into words then, it just is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be said.
Yeah.
It can't be objectified. Can't be understood. It can't be objectified.
Yeah.
The point is there's nothing separate.
Right.
Separation is an appearance which seems to be real when there's an individual that experiences itself as real. And then all it has is knowing. So experience and knowing are sort of the same thing, and that's the energy it has of trying to find something. It wants to know. It feels like if it knows enough, or its experience is enough, it'll become whatever it feels needs to be.
Yeah. Because it seemed like words are dualistic.
There isn't any dualism. There is no dualism. That's the biggest problem for the separate experience is there isn't a problem. It can't hear that though.
So even being a me, it's not a problem.
There are in that way, if your leg falls off, you could call that a problem. But in the way that everything is already that, there actually isn't any intention in the appearance for there to be no me. That's just a story that the me tells itself, that life will be better if there's no me.
So any appearance arising is just perfectly it.
Yeah.
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 This is that.
Yeah. I guess I'll keep asking. So it's interesting because my career, I'm a healer. And I work with, I do acupuncture and I work with meridians and all these systems, and it's kind of like now, it's like, almost feels like, what's the point?
Oh, totally.
Yeah. And so there's been kind of like a feeling arising, like, what am I doing?
You aren't.
No, that's the thing, that's just what it's arising. Yeah, all these systems is kind of a questioning now, like, meridians don't, it doesn't seem to play into anything at this point.
Oh. There's nothing right or wrong with anything.
Yeah.
It's that the separate experience, the me, the person,
Yeah.
feels like part of the intention is the need of meaning and purpose. That the appearance has meaning and purpose, or needs meaning and purpose. And it feels like it's up to it, with its illusory experience of free will, it doesn't have it, to find it or fulfill it, meaning and purpose. Sounds like that's what you're saying. That I don't, now that I've heard something else, and I understand it, it seems
Try not to.
it seems to undermine my sense of meaning and purpose in what I do. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But it didn't have any in the first place. That's just part of the illusory experience.
I guess it's just, feeling like I had to fix people, but it's just,
But there isn't a you
there's
to do
no me to
anything.
fix
No.
anything.
But there already isn't. So
Yeah.
the idea that the me falls away is really a bit of, or liberation is a bit of a misnomer. Because there isn't actually anything that happens. There isn't anyone that becomes liberated. Liberation is the end of something that's already not happening.
Yeah.
I could expect little heads to explode when I start.
Well, in a way, you're saying that there is nothing to be liberated from.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Or all there is liberation.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that includes the me. I mean,
Absolutely.
you can.
But the me will still feel like something has to happen.
But you don't.
What's that?
I mean, you really can't be liberated from it because it's not there. I mean,
That's right.
So why bother?
But you can't not bother. The separate experience can't not bother. It's bothered.
Can this is again, maybe just an experience. can the me kind of like dissolves gradually?
Yeah, it does often.
Okay.
That's a story that often, I mean, it's just a story. Yeah.
Maybe it's just an experience.
Well, it isn't. It's a process. The me lives in a world of process of things getting better or worse. And you're talking about the me getting less. There isn't an actual process to anything. There isn't anything really happening. But for that separate experience, there is.
So there never was a me, nothing's happening, and there's literally nothing to do.
Well, no one to do it.
No one to do it.
Yeah.
So what is simply it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we can go home now.
Sometimes there's this force that's kind of like pushes me to do something. I need to do something. I have to do something. How do I describe it? It's like something in my body is that an experience or is that actually seen?
I don't know. So if you're saying the tension that you feel in the body, so here I had no intimation of what the tension was until it fell away. Other people tell me different stories. It just wasn't here. It was a complete surprise. I had no idea. It was the last place you'd look.
Yeah, but it definitely feels like an energy. Maybe because...
But this all is energy. Emotions are energy, thoughts are energy. That's all energy. What's not happening is there isn't anyone choosing to do or not to do. There isn't any personal volition. There's what's happening, and then the experience added on to that I'm doing it.
You're familiar with U.G. Krishnamurti?
What about him?
He says like something like what you just said. He says it's like an echo chamber. Like you just say, I'm doing it, but it's actually an echo.
That's right. Happening. Yeah. That's exactly it.
When the energy apparently dropped for you, did it feel like a relief? Like,
yeah, it's a relief, but it doesn't drop for anyone.
So it just feels like a tension releasing in the body?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like all the nerves and cells were coated with an experience of need.
Yeah.
Or receptors or something, trying to get something out of everything.
Thanks.
So it's just what's arising with nobody.
Yeah.
Not- yeah.
It's already that way.
It's already that way.
Yeah, there isn't any body, anyone in this room.
It's
There are
just,
no people in the room. They're just bodies.
so everything is equally as empty.
Oh, completely.
Yeah. But then that.
And there is no story. Yeah.
Right, a story would indicate time.
No, there is time. It's apparent time.
Okay.
The story is my story. That's the story.
So this whole sense of contraction is just that stinking I am that keeps coming up in these bodies.
Well, so just to be clear, the contraction arises, and out of that comes knowing, which is the experience I am.
Okay.
Just get some words straight. There's information, which is all more or less here, and the
So it comes out
yeah, like words.
when you need it or when it's needed.
Yeah, yeah, pretty efficiently. It's exactly the same there.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm still here.
So the difference is there's someone that knows that it arises.
Exactly. Yeah, this is my knowledge.
And someone that also panics a little about whether it will or won't, and feels a little like that about getting it to happen in the right way, because for that separate experience it matters what's happening. And now we're back to intention, in that the appearance has some sort of lack and therefore an intention to become something else, which it doesn't.
So this is all my knowledge over here. I mean,
Well, all there is information, and if there is an experiencer, then it's your information.
also, it's possession thing. Is it?
Possession in a way, but it's not really like an action. there isn't like a separation between the information arising and the individual owning it. The experience of being an individual is the experience that it's all mine, it's all me.
And it's all nothing.
What's that?
And it's all nothing.
And it's all nothing already.
Yeah.
I have a funny question. If everything is happening independently of a me, is there an illusion still going on in, let's say, Japan or Russia? Is that still an appearance happening, or is it dependent on?
Well, that's just this appearing as the idea of Japan or Russia. And it's already all independent of the me.
Yeah. So there's literally no others having separate experiences. It's just all an illusion.
Oh, well, so there's 5, 6, 8 people in here.
Yeah.
There's 8 apparent perspectives. But it's all nothing appearing as 8 apparent perspectives.
It's funny to think, because it's like all of our conversations with other people, it's like everything is, our chit chat, it's just all meaningless.
Oh, I know. Isn't that lovely? the whole of this is utterly meaningless. That's freedom. Without meaning or purpose.
So basically, yeah, you can say anything and not get it.
This is already anything.
Yeah.
This is already absolutely random anarchy.
It feels so liberating because, yeah, you don't have to watch your verbiage with people. If it comes out, well, it's already doing itself. But
It's already doing it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just an illusion that I was in control of it ever.
Well, control is an illusion, but the one behind that is that you are.
Right. Right.
This whole thing feels like one big joke.
Yeah, it is.
What the heck?
I heard the joke once. God's a comedian with an audience that never laughs.
No. That's always scary, isn't it?
I guess I'll keep asking away. So if this is apparent death, then what is in a human's brain death actually? You know,
I guess it
when
stops
the physical
working.
body just
Yeah.
stops working,
Yeah.
but it's still, you never leave the story.
Huh?
Well, this continues to play. There's never an actual death.
Well, there isn't a
Just a
continual
physical.
play. There already is. The death for the individual is the end of the continual play. The continual play is an illusion. So no one dies. Bodies die,
Bodies die.
but there isn't anyone in there.
Yeah.
This idea that nothing ever happened is true if there's no one to experience it.
That's right. Yeah.
It took me a long time to get that.
I never got it.
It's like, of course things happen. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know.
But not to me.
Oh, well, to me, that's when things seem to happen.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like that saying, in the forest, if there is nobody in the forest and the tree falls and makes all this noise, I mean, does it make noise?
If there's no one there to hear it.
There's no way.
Apparently it does.
Who would know?
It's all concepts though, isn't it? I mean,
You mean what we're talking about here?
no, everything is all, I mean, my experience as me is all concepts. I mean, you got these words, they mean something. I mean, words don't mean anything, but you've got all these ideas around words.
Okay, I understand what you mean, but actually there isn't anything really solid or real.
Exactly.
Like concepts aren't solid or real in it either. They're all that which can't be said, being whatever seems to be happening.
Right. Even a chair is a concept. I mean, it's just like a chair. I have completely different idea what chair means for me.
But you're trying the me will always try to parse away its experience to find what's real behind it. So it'll say words are concepts or dualistic or this is what should or shouldn't be happening. That's all that separate experience in its experience trying to find something more or less real. When the whole of it, all of this is already that.
Yeah.
Even the experience of trying to find something real.
For me, I'm trying to find the unreal part.
That's right.
which is
Yeah.
which is a thing.
But the experience of that separate experience is that reality is hidden, and I have to find it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Without me, there's no experience.
Right.
That's why when this sort of happened or didn't happen for me, there's no experience.
Right.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
And people say, well, what happened? Nothing.
So what's different? Well, nothing, because nothing ever happened.
Yeah, it's so strange.
Yeah.
Trying to explain.
Hmm.
What happened? Nothing.
Hmm.
That was not an experience.
Hmm. That's
Other
right.
things were experiences.
Hmm.
Awakenings and
That's
and
right.
that.
Yeah.
Lots of good experiences, but this wasn't an experience.
Mm. Yeah.
So it can't be described.
Mm.
So basically, it's like thoughts and feelings and emotions are still arising the same way it would be, but just for nobody.
Yeah.
So it's not personalized.
I wouldn't say it's impersonal. It's not cold. It's an impersonal. But it just arises. It's just what happens. The feelings and thoughts.
Yeah. In the story of Jim, was it a gradual, or did it just was noticeably, oh, I feel lighter?
Well, the story of Jim, so, in retrospect, it seems as though there was always a real, what do you say, thirst for freedom.
And all the seeking was seen as futile.
Oh, no. There might have been a time where it was seen as futile after hearing this message.
Yeah.
But until then, it felt very meaningful. Very meaningful.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, it was. It was about the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Finding the truth. that was more meaningful than everybody else, as far as I was concerned.
So that's why they say it's hopeless, because it's just what's happening. There's no control.
No, the reason why it's hopeless is the individual lives in an objectified reality, and all that it has is objects. And objects are only limited to satisfaction, which is temporary. But what's longed for is wholeness, which is this, which isn't an object, isn't separate. And so it's in a hopeless, separate experience looking for more separate experiences which will never fulfill.
So would you say it's a thought that this isn't already? That's repetitive?
It can be a thought, but that's not where it comes from. It's an experience that this is somehow dissatisfying.
Okay.
As a separate individual, this isn't enough. There's something missing, there's something that needs to happen. And it's limited to that separate experience as far as anything that's real to it. So what this is completely hidden to it, because it isn't separate. It's unknowable. So for the me, it has absolutely no value. But it has no value. Nothing does.
But even the me believing that it's real.
No, it's not a belief. It's an experience.
Okay, experience.
It really happens this way. So when it arises here, it doesn't, the experience is I am as though I'm in the body. The I am isn't actually in the body. It arises in everything. The entirety of everything that appears is really the experience of I am. Everything is me. Everything is I am. Everything is real. Everything is separate. Everything has intention, meaning, and purpose. It all arises simultaneously. That's how hopeless it is.
What if you see through the story, but still?
Well, you don't see through the story. Because if you see through the story, that's another story. What's that?
I think I do, but...
What's that? I
think I do see through the story.
Oh, you don't. Yeah, you don't. So that's probably some sort of understanding.
It's a nice story.
Exactly.
Okay.
You might conceptually understand that it's limited, or that's a story, or But the reality of what a story is, the reality of the experience that this is being real is illusory, can't be seen through. There isn't anyone to see through it.
I keep forgetting that.
Maybe write it down.
Nothing helps.
Well, you're not playing the role of God very well because you got the audience laughing.
Oh, I forgot to say there is no God. That was a joke.
Well, I'll talk a little bit about thoughts arising. So thoughts arising are just seen as
No.
not seen.
No.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. They're just thoughts.
no value or importance.
Mm.
It's really nice.
Mm.
But thoughts of the past
Yep.
are seen as memory.
No one sees that.
No one sees it.
There's just thoughts of the past or memories. It's already that way. They're just thoughts or feelings. The problem isn't concepts. The problem is that somebody knows concepts. It's not really a problem, but that's where the experience of a problem arises. What we're talking about can't be found because it's already everything, including the looking for it.
What a wonderful way to hide and everything.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah.
Genius. Can't be verbalized. It's in everything.
Can't be
No
lost
way.
either.
Can't be lost.
Yeah. Like in the story of the end of Jim. So dread was something that came up with the end of meaning and purpose. That was a sense of dread. Panic, fear, terror. All really nice people. I think terror was probably the first thing that came up hearing this.
Because it feels like, for me, it's been like a pull in and then a, oh, wait a minute, no, then a pull towards it. And there's some sort of energetic feeling like this is the end of the road.
Yeah, oh it is.
Yeah. So there's a little fear.
Into the road that never was.
Yeah.
There is only this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did any preferences change or things that you like more?
Well, the whole spiritual, the whole seeking energy and all that came with that.
Yeah.
All the brown rice and raw vegetables.
Okay.
Meditation.
Yeah. So that fell away.
More or less. The intention behind it fell away, which is really what the me is, an intention. Or part of it, that one aspect of it is intention.
passing away. What about, let's say, relationships with others?
Well, there aren't any.
Right.
Yeah.
So how are those interactions seemingly happening now?
They just like this.
Just like this, just natural.
They just happen.
So basically, there's no correlation between seeking and trying to learn and study versus the appearance of the knee dropping.
Oh, no.
Nothing to do with that, yeah.
It doesn't have to do with anything, because it doesn't really happen. Nothing really has to do with anything. It only appears to.
Is it real or is it?
No, nothing's real.
I mean, in the sense that it's producing results.
If you,
Just like laws of nature.
if
I
you
mean,
see results as seeking, then yes, seeking produces results. The results of seeking. Spirituality, religion, all of that comes out of seeking. Those are the results of seeking.
I see.
But this isn't the result of anything.
It stays within the framework. Of,
Absolutely. Absolutely. But this isn't the result of anything.
Okay.
It's wild to think that this isn't even happening, that we never came here.
Yeah.
And this will be like a past memory, you know, it'll apparently be that. Just what's arising, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But the idea of it being a past memory is just disappearing of the idea of it being a past memory.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the body as such, the biological system,
Yeah.
is always in, in what is.
Well, it is what is. There's nothing.
It is what is, yeah.
There's nothing in what is.
From a philosophical point, it is what is.
Yeah.
And then there's this,
Unless it's dead.
well, if it's that, it's
Yeah, it's
recycled anyways.
Yeah.
It becomes,
But there's still what is, even if there's no body.
right. And then there's this overlay that has no substance whatsoever, that says,
No, but the body is that which has no substance. Body.
well, I mean the thought.
Oh, thought. Okay.
The thought
Okay.
overlays over this, it's already, I mean,
That's a bit bigger scalpel than you had before.
okay, yeah.
You need to get
I know.
You need to get back open into your portfolio. Come out with a little bit of a thinner one. Keep trying, you might find this.
This feels really dreamlike right now.
Well, it is, in a sense. It's unfixed. It's not solid.
Yeah.
Because there isn't anyone to know what it is. It is apparently what it is, but there isn't anyone to know it. So it's just sort of... it's kind of like that. Sometimes it's a little more like this.
Keep on.
This is going on YouTube. I'm gonna be a dance teacher. People are we go, well, fuck non-duality, but you can dance.
And there's more.
And there's more.
It's wild because it seems like anything I could say now would be to benefit the me and the seeking. And it's just totally unknowable. So even trying to intellectualize or come up with the right wording and the right concepts is just, yeah.
Useless. Because it's probably, as you rightly notice, essentially I'm trying to solve this whole thing because that's what I've been taught to do.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, I know. Or bad luck.
Oh, no, I mean,
No, I gotta hit the wall. Something has to.
that's what this is. That's totally what I think you said that. Did you? That it's like running into a wall.
Yeah.
This is running into a wall.
So basically nobody knows anything because it's all empty. So any guru or teacher teachings don't make sense. None of it, it's just all verbiage.
Yeah.
And people thinking they know. So they're still me's.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the complete opposite.
I know. It's weird.
Is that true? Things appear and disappear.
Well, it's a perception. So the individual is a solidity, is a solidity. The knowing experience, it doesn't just arise here. It actually sort of arises in everything as a solidity, as a fixed reality. When there isn't a fixed reality, there is a perception that it goes in and out. There is a perception that it's two-dimensional. There's sort of all sorts of different perceptions one can have, but basically it's just not fixed. There isn't any one to know it. It can appear as anything, like it's going in and out of two-dimensional. But fundamentally, it's just not a fixed reality. There's no one to know what it is. It just appears. Well, what we're talking about is there's that separate experience has a structure, a fundamental reality to it. And if that doesn't hold up or breaks down, different perceptions can arise that were sort of denied or not allowed because of that structural and the structure of this is real, this is my reality. And when that breaks down, different perceptions, but it really isn't relevant. It's just that this isn't as fixed as it seems to that separate experience of a knowing, dependable, regular, law-abiding reality. It's not like that at all. It's anarchy. Appearing, being a room.
So the room has no history.
Nothing has history. Nothing has a story. Everything is empty.
But even the stories are coming from it. So there's nothing.
They aren't coming from it. It's that being a story. or appearing as a story. Everything, it's impossible to get, but
Yeah.
this is that.
Yeah.
It is that. We're back to this, aren't we? Yeah.
But when a story arises,
Yeah.
that's just that too.
Yeah,
Right? Just
yeah,
what.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the difference between this situation and the dream situation? Maybe you go to bed and have a dream. Things happen, there are people, there's a story to it, you feel things.
There's just what is. So what is being a dream, what is being a room, or what is and isn't being a dream, being a room, there's just what is.
So you're not saying there is a difference?
Well, I mean, there's an apparent difference between a chair and a rug, but what we're saying here is the chair is that chairing and the rug is that rugging. A dream is that dreaming and this is that rooming.
So it's all activity?
Apparently, yeah, apparently, yeah.
I'll stop there.
Don't. No, there's nothing right or wrong with it. It's just there's a real energy there to work it out.
So names are not, I mean, if everything is
Names are what it
activity,
is.
huh?
Names are what is. It's all there is what is and isn't. Names are what is and isn't. Scalpels are what is and isn't. Trying to work it out is what is and isn't.
Right. If I say name, I mean, what I mean is, it's like solid, put boundaries around it.
But there isn't anything solid.
But it is activity. It
There
is.
isn't. That's not what we're saying. We're not pointing to the fundamental nature of these things in a physical way. The suggestion is there's no fundamental nature to anything. It's all that. There's nothing defined. It's only lost to the looking for it. It's not really lost.
Almost feels like it's a mirage and you're trying to get closer and closer and it keeps disappearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the me sees everything as an object, and what we're talking about can't be objectified.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah.
So always just out of reach.
Yeah. Or almost like this is just one happening, non-material, just you can't even grasp. 'cause
Oh,
it's already
completely.
gone. It's
Absolutely.
like, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Makes no sense to cling on to stories of the past or, he wronged me, she wronged me, all these little petty things that we think, like it makes no sense and yet we do
Yeah.
it so intensely. it feels so real. I mean, this is like the ultimate illusion. It's incredible. Yeah. So everything is appearing as having differences, and yet it's just all one happening, one sameness. Empty.
In a way, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
It's all that.
Yeah.
Appearing as separate. This and that and that. That appears separate. But they're both that.
Yeah. It's so simple.
Yeah.
I think the mind just, the conditioning, it keeps getting in and saying, but what about this? Or, you know, it's got to be more like that, or everything. But when you really condense it to that simplicity of nothing being everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Do things look separate not because they are separate, but to me...
Nope, that's apparently there. And this is apparently here. For the individual, that's really there, and there's a real distance to this. For no one, there's no one to know. It appears to be there, and this appears to be here, but there's no solidity about it because there's no one to confirm it. It just appears that way.
I think I heard you on one of your videos saying that when the me arises, simultaneously the world also arises as separate.
That's right.
So,
I've said that today.
okay, it went by.
That's right.
Yeah, so does the world arise in separation, or is it because of the me arises and then the whole thing?
The difference is that what appears for me is real. The me experiences everything as real. And nothing is in that way real. It is and isn't. As she said, it's nothing to hold on to.
So me seeing through my eyes, it feels like there's an awareness, but it's really empty. And somebody else seeing through their eyes, through their perception, going through life and all these interactions, that's just all, I don't know. It just dawned on me like how I see things through one lens and an apparent person sees through another lens.
Yeah.
How does that interplay into this?
Well, there's 8 bodies
Yeah.
with 8 apparent perspectives, and it's all that appearing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
9 bodies.
9 bodies, all right, 9 bodies.
8 individuals, 9 bodies.
No, there are no individuals.
Apparently. Individuals.
When there's no one, there's no one.
Yeah, I think So the illusion of I and anything that I experiences is also an illusion.
Oh, yeah, the whole experience of I is an illusion. Yeah.
What about the experience of I am everything?
I am everything.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be an experience.
Not in an individual sense, just
That
kind of.
wouldn't be an experience.
Okay.
In the same way that one would say God is everything, you would say I am everything, and it's meaningless. There's really nothing to say about it. Because I only makes sense as separate from something else. So I am everything or God is everything is sort of the same thing.
Right.
Or all there is pizza. Because you can't put a word on that.
Yeah, it's just like the feeling that everything is oneness. You wouldn't call that an experience?
I would actually. But only because it seems to me oneness is something, it's not, it might be what we're talking about, but it might not be what we're talking about. Because it's, for here, it's not one.
Well, it's just everything.
This is everything, yeah. But it's not one. For me, that's a position, it's a knowing, it's an object, that's the way it seems here, oneness. It's more not two. It's not separate. And that's revealed with there no one to know the separation. So there's only that appearing to be separate, but there isn't anyone that knows that. So it doesn't all come together. It just isn't any separation. There are people that call it oneness, though.
But that would be taking on a position, right?
That I don't think they have one. I think they that's what the way that's how it comes out.
Comes out. Okay.
Yeah.
It's literally quite funny and shocking and everything all at once to recognize that there's nobody here, nothing happening. It's never happened and nobody to know it. What the heck? I'm just sitting here drenching in sweat like, oh my God, can I say this out of my mouth? Wow. pretty much instead of saying this is aliveness, you could also say this is death.
Yeah.
So pretty much we're walking around dead.
Yeah.
I'm doing this funny. Yeah. Next thing I was thinking is my little donkey is dead too.
Well, he was never alive in that way. The only death is the death of something that ever happened.
Yeah. So seemingly, like with science trying to prove this and stuff, it's like, how can an illusion prove an illusion, right?
Well, it's an appearance, and so the appearance is a funny characteristic of the more you look, the more you see. And so every time they split apart something, they find something else. They keep finding something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the only illusion is that there's an individual, which is the experience that this is real.
So the me would be the only illusionary aspect?
It is the only illusion.
Oh.
Everything else is just an appearance, is that being whatever.
So like animals are just part of that appearance, they're just moving about. Everything is just moving about, but the illusionary aspect is the me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And there aren't actually parts of that. There's only all of that, and this is all of that. What is all of that.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't another that. There isn't that appearing somewhere else or some well of that which can't be said that becomes all of this. It is.
And this doesn't know that it's this.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, it can't be known. No.
So empty is really empty.
Empty is really empty.
It always felt like there was something that was manifesting this into, you know, like, but it's truly just empty.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no authority, nothing is special, right?
Yeah.
And you just know one nowhere.
Mm.
That's actually non-duality.
Non-duality is just not to.
So it's actually saying what it is not, because you cannot
Say what
point
it is.
out what is it,
Mm.
because it's everything.
Yeah.
So the only way how to point it out, it's showing what it is not.
Yeah. Well, you
Specifically.
can't point to it because there's nowhere to point to it from that isn't it.
Okay.
So all you can say is what it isn't. And the only thing it isn't is two.
And that I am feeling, it's felt,
It's-
until it's felt,
Yeah.
until it is not.
Yeah.
That's why self-inquiry, maybe. It's such a big topic in that Asian philosophy, maybe.
Oh, there's a million paths.
But they are trying to find something there.
Oh, absolutely.
They are self-inquiring to find something there, but there is nothing.
All effort, all seeking is within that separate experience. So all that's found is what's separate.
Yeah.
Could you say something about the fact that, you said, you keep saying there is nothing happening. I mean, but in fact what arises, which is what is, that arising is happening.
Yes, it's nothing arising.
Oh, it's nothing arising.
And because all there is nothing appearing, it's also nothing happening.
Okay. Yes.
It only appears to happen.
That's why there is only, I don't know, there's only this dance or some whatever.
Yeah. That's all there is. Dance.
So all the movement is an appearance.
Right.
It's stillness, moving, or is that too much to
Stillness.
say? Yeah.
The amazing things has no meaning, right? I mean, there's no
That's
meaning.
one of the amazing things, yeah.
There's no meaning to it.
No. No meaning, no purpose, no intention, no need. It doesn't even need to be this. It's completely free. Already.
So that's what being is. I mean, everything is just wants to be this. Gonna be.
I heard someone say recently, being takes too long.
So when you say real and unreal, is it okay to also say dreamlike? Is it similar or is it not quite hitting the mark?
For me, it doesn't hit it.
Yeah.
For me, the dream is the individual's dream. The story of me is the dream.
Oh, okay. So real and unreal would be like saying
This is
an
that.
appearance. Okay.
Oh, this is an appearance.
Okay.
To the me it is, and in actuality it is and it isn't at the same time.
And that's the thing, it's just, it is because it is. There's no, you can't, yeah.
Mm.
Then when I start saying, well, it could be because of, you know, then I'm going into stories of what it, yeah.
Mm. Well, there isn't any reason. There isn't anything behind it that causes it. It's not coming from anywhere, and it's not going anywhere.
So, like, people that are afraid of losing their eye,
Yeah.
but they never had it
That's right.
in the first place.
But you can't tell them that.
Not yet.
No, nowhere. I never hears this. The eye never hears it. It always understands it.
Or want to.
Well, it doesn't want. It certainly doesn't want to.
Okay, yeah.
I can't want this. It's nothing to it.
Even if they are coming to the meeting, they are trying to pick something else for them.
There's different categories. So I think people who come here who are trying to pick something and only trying to pick something, they just don't come back. But then I think there's people who are looking for something, but there's something that hears something beyond getting. And they're sort of in between, sort of like, I like it and I hate it.
At the same time,
Yeah.
I'm afraid of it. I don't want to hear it, but here I am.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Yeah.
And again, here I am, and again, I'm not. And it's like trying how it feels to be more comfortable with it.
That's what's going on there. I think there are probably all sorts of strategies. But yeah,
But
those
you
are sort of
can,
the two
work it out,
categories of
yeah.
people.
But what can we work out? We're all equally as empty. It's nothing to work out, right?
Yeah, right. There is nothing to work out. It's all empty.
Oh my goodness. See, I get that. You know, when I feel it, and still there's something like, there's still like a seeking energy.
I noticed that.
I want it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Well, what can happen is it'll be immediately apparent what's being talked about.
Yeah.
And then the me goes, what's that? Or I want that. Yeah. That's just what happens. Apparently.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to get as close as possible, but not too close.
That's why you're back there.
My certainly feels, close, but
What's that?
it feels close, but at the same time so far away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not close.
It's it, I mean it.
What's that?
I mean it.
That's all there is. It's closer than close.
Like they say, like it's not a problem to find the truth, but to face it.
No, there's no truth.
And that's the truth.
One last question, I guess.
All right, that's it then. Make it good.
When you talk about, maybe you didn't use the word empty, fullness or something, I think that's, to you, the way I understand it is that the emptiness is that, for example, that chair, it is, the carpet is, the isness is what's common to everything. Now, that chair is, right? It is, it's a being, it has being, and then what is it? It's a chair. Is that something, could you comment on that?
Oh yeah, so the emptiness of everything is the loss of me. It's me that creates the solidity of everything, which is the loss of the emptiness that everything is. Emptiness and the story are the opposing things. So me and the story is the solidity of everything. The emptiness is the lack of story to anything. It has no real context. Context has no context. Empty of story. Empty of me.
So it's, when I try to look at things and try
Yeah, but that you're lost already.
Try to understand.
If you're
that's
looking,
exactly what I'm saying.
yeah.
Try to look at that.
I want to see the emptiness.
I'm already
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
You can't see it.
Yeah.
Can't
No.
see it.
No one ever does. No one ever sees it.
Because
Because you're looking.
yeah.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.